Hello friends, welcome to Best Tutor. In this video, we are going to learn about the fertilization process in a bisexual flower. Now, what is fertilization? It is the fusion between male gamete and a female gamete. So, what is fertilization? It is a fusion between a male gamete and a female gamete. Now, what are the male gametes and female gametes in a flower? So, in the earlier videos, we have learned that the pollen grain is the male gamete. Then, the ovary containing ovule is the female gamete. So, before we learn what is fertilization, how it occurs inside a flower, we have to understand the structure of ovary or the gynoecium of a flower. So, in the earlier video, we have learned about the structure of anther and pollen grain. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about the structure of gynoecium, what is ovary and what is ovule, and how fertilization takes place. So, assume this as a gynoecium of a flower, and this part is known as stigma. The top part of your gynoecium is known as stigma. Then continued with the tube-like structure called style, with the ovary at the base. So, this is the ovary. Now, this is what we call it as pistil or gynoecium. Now, if you examine the ovary part, it has it is the one which has the male gametes known as the female gametes, the ovules. The ovules are known as female gametes in the ovary. So, the female reproductive part is the ovary, which contains the ovules inside, which are the female gametes. Now, these are the ones which have the female nuclei or the gametes. Now, if you examine this ovary is containing a wall known as ovary wall, and this ovary wall will be connected to the ovules with the help of a structure known as placenta. Now, placenta is the structure which is going to connect the ovules to the ovary wall. Now, so we have understood the overall picture how the gynoecium looks with the stigma, style and the ovary is the one which contains the actual female gametes known as ovules. They have the nuclei which help in the fertilization process, and the ovules are connected to the ovary wall with the help of a structure known as placenta. Now, how this fertilization takes place? Before that, we have to understand what all are present inside the ovary. Let's examine one ovary with the one ovule, means only one seed. If one ovule is there, it gives rise to one seeded fruit. If more than one ovule is there, then it gives rise to many seeded fruit. Now, for example, assume this is the ovary, and each ovary will be having 2 or 3 coverings known as integuments. The outer integument. This is known as inner integument. The coverings, the outer coverings of the ovary are known as integuments, outer integument and inner integument. So this entire structure we are talking about, this is the structure of ovary of pistil in a flower. We are talking about flower fertilization, children. Fertilization in flower. Right. If you examine, so each ovary will have two outer coverings known as outer integument and inner integument. So now if you examine, these integuments are in turn filled with a nutritive structure known as nucellus. A nutritive substance is present in between these two integuments known as nucellus. So this is the structure of ovule, children. So if you see the ovule, it has outer integument and inner integument, and these two integuments are filled with a nutritive substance known as nucellus. And below this nucellus, we have the actual part called, this entire thing we call it as embryo sac. So this embryo sac is the one which is going to contain the female gametes. Now this opening which you have, this is known as micropyle. The opening which is there inside the ovary, which goes into the ovule structure of the embryonic sac, this opening of the ovule is known as micropyle. Now at the micropylar end, this end which is near to micropyle, we call it as micropylar end. At this micropylar end, we have three cells known as, one middle cell is known as egg cell or ovum. Then we have two another cells which are surrounding the egg cell known as synergids. Right? So at the micropylar end, we have an egg cell side by with the two synergids. So how many cells are there here? Overall we have egg cell including the synergid, 3 cells. Fine. Now at the center of the embryonic sac, we have two nuclei which we call as two polar nuclei, or also known as secondary nucleus. So at the center we have two polar nuclei or secondary nucleus. So we may consider it as one cell. So how many cells are there at the center of the ovule? 1. So this is only one, which will be considered as one cell with two nuclei. Then next, at the extreme opposite of the micropylar, we have 3 cells which are known as antipodal cells. So this structure is about the ovule, children, which is present inside the ovary of a flower in the gynoecium structure, where each ovule is protected by two coverings known as outer integument and inner integument. And if you examine, the integuments are in turn filled with a nutritive substance known as nucellus, and below the nucellus we have the actual embryonic sac or embryo sac. Now what are present in the embryo sac? We have 3 cells, antipodal cells at one end of the embryo sac, one cell which contains 2 polar nuclei at the center, and 3 cells at the micropylar end with one egg cell at the center surrounded by 2 synergids, overall 3 cells. So how many cells are present inside a ovule? We have 3 plus 3 plus 1 cells, totally 7 cells are there. And what is the region which is opening at the integument level of a ovule? We call it as micropyle or micropylar region. Now, after understanding the structure of ovule, we will see how fertilization takes place. Right. So, students, here this is the structure of gynoecium. So, what is this structure? This is stigma. This long filament like structure is known as style. Then this is ovary. Now, this is the structure of pistil. Fine. Now, what happens during pollination? The pollens of anther are transferred to the stigma of a same flower or a different flower. Now, assume that pollen has fallen on the stigma. So, the pollination process has taken place. The pollen from anther of one flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower, or it can be a different flower, whether it can be self pollination or cross pollination. Now, the process is that pollination has occurred. The pollen has been transferred to the stigma region, right. Now, if you observe, the pollen can be sticky or dry, whatever the condition based on self or cross pollination. Now, once they fall on the stigma, slowly the stigma, the upper layer of the stigma, it is contains some kind of sugars. These sugars enables for the growth of the pollen grain. Now, once the pollen grain, if you remember in the earlier video, we have learnt about the structure of pollen grain, where I have said the pollen grain will be having two nuclei. One is the generative nucleus and the other one is called tube nucleus, right. And if you examine, it has outer exine and inner intine. We have discussed these all things. Now, I said the tube nucleus is the one which is going to form a tube like structure known as pollen tube. Now, this pollen tube will carry the generative nucleus, which forms two male nuclei or sperm nuclei. Now, what happens? The generative nucleus which we have shown, it will form two nuclei known as the male nuclei, two male nuclei are the sperm nuclei. They will be present in the pollen tube along with the tube nucleus. So, this is what actually happens once the pollen grain gets transferred to the stigma. After utilizing the sugars given by the stigma membrane, they will start developing these features where the pollen tube will be formed and it will carry the two important male gametes or the sperm nuclei. Now, what happens out of the, you have lot of pollen grains falling on it. Among those pollen grains, one pollen grain will be the one which enters into the stigma. Means one will be very active among all the pollen grains and it takes advantage of rupturing the layer of the stigma and it forms the pollen tube. And you know what happens in the pollen tube, what will be carried? In the pollen tube, it carries the two male nuclei or the sperm nuclei. So, it is the one which is coming till the ovule. Right. So, among all the pollen grains, one pollen grain will be very active enough to rupture the walls of the stigma and enters into the stigma, and slowly with the help of the pollen tube, the pollen grain will pass through the entire length of the style and slowly it reaches the micropylar end of the ovary. So, this is the micropylar end or micropylar region. Now at the micropylar region, it is the opening to the ovule. It enters, the pollen tube will enter into the ovule. Now what is there in the pollen tube? We said it has the 2 male nuclei or the sperm nuclei. Now this 2 male nuclei or the sperm nuclei will be released into the ovule of the gynoecium. So inside the ovule, now we can see the pollen tube with 2 male nuclei. Once the pollen tube releases the pollen grain, the pollen tube is releasing the 2 male gametes. Now the 2 male gametes, which are released, out of the 2, one will fuse, one male gamete fuses with egg cell. So we know egg cell is present at the micropylar end, surrounded by synergids. This is the egg cell, and these two are synergids, and these 3 are antipodal cells present in the ovule, and at the center we have secondary nucleus or 2 polar nuclei. So we are clear with the structure of the ovule. Now the pollen tube which has emerged from the pollen grain, it enters through the micropylar end into the ovule. Now once the pollen tube releases the 2 male gametes carried through it, now one male gamete will fuse with the egg cell, and this forms the embryo, or we can call that zygote first. After zygote, it further develops to form embryo. Then what happens to the second male gamete? We said 2 male nuclei are being passed into the ovule of the ovary. Now one fused with the egg cell formed the zygote or embryo. Then second, one male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus. Now by fusing with the secondary nucleus, what happens here? It forms the endospermculum. So endosperm is nothing but a tissue which provides nourishment during the seed germination process. So we have 2 fertilizations now. What is fertilization? The fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. Now here if you observe, the 2 male gametes which are carried by the pollen tube, where the pollen grain has ruptured the structure of the gynoecium and reached the micropylar end, the 2 male gametes, one will fuse with the egg cell present at the micropylar region, and it forms the embryo or the zygote, right? Then another male gamete which is carried, it is going to fertilize or fuse with this secondary nucleus, and it forms the endosperm. Now what happens to them? This is what actual fertilization process is. Now the embryo is the one which you see in a seed. Then endosperm is also present in the seed, and which is forming into seed, which is transforming into seed here. Now the ovule part of the flower is transformed into seed now. And what happens to the ovary? The ovary will turn to form into a fruit. So now you understood how a flower transforms into a fruit or a vegetable. Now after pollination followed by fertilization, we observe that ovule is transformed into seed and ovary is converted into a fruit. This is what how fertilization takes place. So the antipodal cells after fertilization, they just disintegrate, they don't appear, and even the synergids, they help in the process of fertilization, fusion between egg and the male gamete, and after once it is happened, the synergids are of no use. Then what happens to the integuments? The integuments of the ovule will transform into the seed coats of the seed, and the micropyle will remain like a micropyle in the seed. So this is about the fertilization which occurs in a bisexual flower. This is a bisexual flower where you have both the male gametes and female gametes present in the same flower. The male gametes, the 2 male gametes which are there inside the pollen grain, they rupture the wall of the stigma and they pass through the style and they enter the micropylar region of the ovule, which is present inside the ovary. And if you observe, one male gamete will fuse with the egg cell of the ovule and another male gamete will fuse with the secondary nucleus of the ovule, and that's how we see the formation of embryo and endosperm. And finally, after this fertilization process, ovule will turn to form a seed and ovary to a fruit. That's how the fertilization occurs in a flower. Thank you.